Down with me, you down with me, down with me. Hold on. I got a crowd wrapping round the whole town for me. They mama proud, got a thou in the balcony. Nah, I don't hear no clown talking foul on me.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What Are the Odds podcast. It's your host JMX and my co-host Ryan. Shout out to my dog right there. Yeah, man, we got a lot to get into. Week 16 is pretty much almost done. The only game we got left is the Packers and the Saints. But this week was kind of the week of upsets. I mean, there was a few upsets that me and Ryan definitely got some games wrong, which is really kind of unlikely. Me and you usually be kind of acing pick'ems. But yeah, man, Ryan, how you doing?
I'm chilling. I can't lie. It's been this week was kind of meh with some of the games. Some of the games were whatever. That Steelers Ravens game. We'll get into it. That sucked. Broncos Chargers game we got into last episode. That sucked for you guys. So not a great week for the pod. But besides that, just been chilling. How about yourself?
I've been all right, man. My family's back in town. My dad's side of the family, they all back here for Christmas. We chilling. Look like it's gonna be a Christmas. Might be. I don't know. We'll see if I go do interviews for Christmas Day. But I'm stressing about my Broncos. But my Spurs got some good news, Ryan. Look, I don't know if you saw, man, but you been seeing this De'Aaron Fox stuff?
No, what are they, like trade rumors or something?
Yeah, like apparently him and Rich Paul are pushing to get out of Sacramento, and the top two teams that want him are the Spurs and the Rockets. So it's looking like we got a chance of maybe getting De'Aaron Fox. I'm all here for this, by the way. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about you, but boy, I love this for De'Aaron Fox. But I mean, other than that, I've been doing good. Look, hey, my Spurs the ninth in the West. But we won 22 games last year. We already got 13 wins. So I'm definitely looking forward. I'm definitely happy. Looking forward to this season, see how it ends. Wemby's balling. But I'm nervous about my Broncos, bro. Extremely.
Yeah, I'm playing. We were talking about it before the pod, and I still think you guys get in, but it's gonna take a little bit of stressing. I mean, you were saying you're not even gonna watch the damn game. You're gonna
Bro,
take a
I'm gonna be
nap.
too nervous, bro. I'm gonna be way too nervous to watch the game.
No, you guys will be alright. You guys will be alright. I think I think the Chiefs beat us this coming Wednesday, and they rest their starters after that. You guys lose and you guys make it last week. Like I was saying before the pod, I really do think it would be crazy funny if let's say the Bills win. Let's say uh, let's say the Chiefs win. So let's say the Chiefs and the Bills both win. No, that can't. Let's say the Chiefs lose and the Bills win, and you guys lose. It's gonna come down to that final game in Denver, probably that 8:30 game. See if KC can lock up the 1 seed. See if you guys make the playoffs. Let's see, maybe the Bengals make the playoffs. Bills get the 1 seed. There's so much on the line with that game, but it'll be interesting.
We gonna see, man. But this week did not help my Broncos at all. So let's go. Let's jump right into it for the Saturday games. Um, a lot of the games on Sunday we gonna skim through, but I mean the biggest games are kind of on Saturday. Texans travel to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs did win the game 27-19. They go to 14-1. Texans fall to 9-6. Um, and yeah, I got Chiefs just undefeated at home. And the one thing I will take away from this game, obviously, prayers to Tank Dell. He suffered that nasty, brutal injury. Prayers to him. But I got two takeaways from CJ kind of played a big part in costing him in this game. This game was very winnable, like every Chiefs game is for the opponent. I mean, it was a very winnable game. They got Xavier Worthy involved a lot. I thought the Chiefs ran the ball pretty solid. Mahomes got it going on the ground a little bit early. But I thought overall the defense didn't play spectacular, but I felt like this is a game I thought Houston could win. I mean, Tank was balling for he got out. I mean, he had like 100 yards and he had just caught that touchdown. I mean, he was balling. Um, McDuff had a solid game, but I think CJ definitely those two interceptions were brutal. Those are drives. The Texans, you're gonna have to probably score way more than 20 to beat the Chiefs. But I mean, I thought the game was going to go exactly how I thought, but I thought the Texans was going to do just a little bit better offensively. I think Stroud was going to throw 2 interceptions, but I mean, hey man, shout out to the Chiefs. They handle business, and you can see right now, even with Hollywood, he had a decent impact. He got 8 targets, 5 catches, 45 yards. It's going to be a committee thing, and it looks like Kelsey skill wise has taken a. I mean, I saw one play yesterday where he caught the ball and tried to do his usual turnaround spin move, and it looked like he was like 45. And I was like, God damn, Trav, damn. And even the announcer was like you, it's clear Trav has kind of lost a step a little bit, but he's still decent. You know what I'm saying? But this is I definitely think his last year in the NFL. 100% think so because he almost retired at the end of last season. I think he's gonna be probably his last year. But shout out to the Chiefs, man. They get the dub. It's just tough for Houston. I mean, 9-6, which is not a bad record by any means, but 4-4. The injuries just keep piling up. Diggs is out. Now Tank is out. They gonna really have to rely on their defense to win. If they want to have a playoff run, you're gonna need your defense to kind of go crazy. But it's looking like whoever they play in round one is probably gonna be the team to get that upset. I think right now it would be Baltimore. So they play Baltimore first round, and it's kind of we got a preview of that because Baltimore plays them this upcoming week. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you like you were saying with the whole committee thing. I think that was kind of the whole plan to begin with. Like, you have a bunch of veterans with D Hop, Hollywood, Travis, Kareem Hunt,
Hmm.
Pacheco. I mean, and then obviously Mahomes. It's really only the new guys really only worthy. And I mean, he was balling against the Texans. He had a nice little touchdown, like 70 yards or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
for me though, was the biggest takeaway is it's the takeaway with every Chiefs game. It's always about closing with them. It's the last three drives. It was 17-16, touchdown, field goal, end of game. They ran the clock out. It was like the ability to close and the ability to win these close games. Eventually, it does come back to like it is like what they are. It's the same thing with the Steelers, where Steelers always try to keep games close with their defense, and they always just try to like pull out the win damn near like last second. Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. And it just seems like with the Chiefs, I think they said on the broadcast like this is like the 15th game in a row that the Chiefs have won with like a one score game, or 13 games in a row. It was something like that. It was like 13 or 15 one score games, not like consistently, but like every time they had like they're in a one score game like that, they always pull out the win.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think you can obviously tell that the Tank Dell injury definitely played a part in like how they and even CJ said it. Like, yeah, it played a part in how I played down the stretch. He's my best friend. Seeing him going out like that. But yeah, like you said, man, just closing for the Chiefs is just something that they've done well all year. You can't even lie. They've been doing it well all year. And just moving forward, both teams, it just looks like they're going opposite directions. I mean, the Texans, this has just not been there. The year that we thought they were going to have. And I mean, they're still sitting at 9-6. I'm not saying this year's a failure, but it's not the jump we wanted them to take. And a lot of it is just, dude, the full wide receiver core hasn't been healthy the whole season. I mean, even when they had Diggs, Nico was out. You know what I'm saying? So it just hasn't been the season they wanted. But yeah, you got anything else to add about the Chiefs?
Yeah, not so much the Chiefs. Well, that defense was balling. You have to give them their credit as
Oh
well.
yeah, they were.
But more so about Tank, dude. For him to hold on to that ball while he went down, what snapped his leg, snapped like everything. What I have no idea exactly what he tore, broke. It was obviously it was ugly. But for him to hold on to that ball too was crazy. It was like, man, you held on, got the touchdown. Obviously, like it's probably just reaction. He probably just held on and like his body just froze up. But I again, I thought that was crazy. Obviously, like I hope he's all right. Well, we know he's not all right, but hopefully he recovers and he's able to play again and all that stuff. But it
Yeah,
was
nah,
like,
that was
dude,
crazy.
holding on to the
It was nasty
ball.
to see. Yeah, it was just nasty. It was nasty, bro. Prayers to him, man. Like you said, kudos to him for holding on to that ball because that was crazy. But yeah, going on to the next game later that day, Ryan's team still a shot with Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens win it 34-17. Both teams go to 10-5. The Steelers are currently right now still first in the division. I think it's because of division record, right? Yeah. So, my
Yeah.
main takeaway from this game, interesting. I want to hear what Ryan's takeaways from this game was. I think Lamar played really well. I mean, this MVP race isn't as over as what we thought it was. Lamar's got something to say about it because he's been balling the last 2 weeks. I think he has what 8 touchdowns, 1 interceptions in the last 2 games. I mean, that's remarkable. Derrick Henry balled out in this one. I mean, he killed the Steelers. So did Zay Flowers. Um, I mean, they just torched them. The defense played, I thought, really well. My main takeaway for Pittsburgh, Russ has got to play better. I think that, I mean, it was just kind of self inflicted. The interception was bad. the the fumble in the middle of the field, that was the worst one. It's like I understand what Russ was trying to do. He said in the post game that he went for it, and it's like you one on one in open field with a safety or a linebacker, bro. He got flipped, and it's bad. I mean, you fumbled the ball. I mean, look, he's always fumbling though. That's one thing about Russ. He's been fumbling over the last few years since he left Seattle. He's been a fumbling machine. But yeah, I mean, those turnovers, I think also going for it on that 4th and 6, taking a deep shot to Calvin Austin on the 4th and 6, I thought was also a bad move from Pittsburgh, but they just got outplayed from top to bottom, man. And Baltimore didn't really make that many self-inflicted wounds. I mean, they did kind of early in the game. Like it was looking like and they had a shit ton of fumbles, first off. But like it was looking like, this game that Baltimore may have tried to give it up first, and then it just flip-flopped. I think yeah, because Lamar threw the pick, right? Or
Yeah. Picked the Minka in the next play. He threw the pick six.
yeah. It was something like that. I can't remember which way it went, but like it didn't look like Baltimore early on. Like Baltimore got up. I think it was like yeah, halftime it was 17-10. Um, and then Baltimore second half, fourth quarter really just blew it away. The turnovers start killing Pittsburgh. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I'm not gonna kill Russ, but like he took one sack that I thought was really bad in the I can't remember what quarter it was. It definitely was like third quarter. It was like a little screen play or something like I can't remember what the play was exactly, but he had time to give it away and he just didn't. He kept the ball and I mean it was a bad sack, but I mean other than that, I feel like Rush just he could if he doesn't throw that pick, doesn't and slides, this game is I ain't even gonna say the pick. Even if he just slides, I think this game is completely different. So that really broke the game open. That fumble.
Yeah, it was the whole momentum of the game kind of shifted. Like we would go up 14-7 in Baltimore. Um, it was it was a bad loss, but it was also a loss that we both kind of expected.
Yeah,
Um, and also like the whole like for example, well, not for example, the Steelers, we had very very big pieces on the defense, and even like obviously Pickens was out,
yeah. Pickens was out too.
Fields was out, Sean Elliott was out, Dante Jackson was out, Ogun Joby was out, JPJ, he got hurt like second drive into the game, but also like just hearing Steeler fans use it as an excuse of like, oh, well, that's why we lost. Man, the only reason the Ravens been losing all these games to us as well in Baltimore is because Lamar is always out. So to say that like, oh well, we only lost because of the injuries, like we would
Yeah, I
have
don't think
won.
the injuries would have played
Yeah,
too big of a.
I don't think we would have gotten blown out like we did, but like we would have lost probably like
I mean, because yeah, my opinion, y'all could have won this game. I
yeah
mean, the fumble really. I mean, they just capitalized every turnover y'all had. They capitalized on. I mean, even like it's tough. Like the swing definitely came after the fumble because they scored. They went 96 yards down the field and they scored, and that kind of was like that got them up 14-7. So the game was still reasonable. Halftime, you go 17-10, and then touchdown, y'all tie the game. They go back down, touchdown, they take the lead. And then Pittsburgh, you got the turnover on downs. So then Lamar throws the pick, then Russ throws a pick six. Like if Russ don't throw that pick six, man, it's still a one possession game. You can go down the field and tie it up, and after that pick six, it was over. Everybody knew it was over.
yeah it was the big a huge takeaway for me. It always seems like whenever we play Baltimore, they always make mistakes and that they usually don't. And this game was really like, and like they always have the bad breaks going against them. Like early in the game, they fumbled like twice,
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying. I
recovered
remember they
both
was
of them.
fumbling early.
And it was like usually in most of these Steeler Ravens games, like the Steelers will recover one of those and turn it into a quick little field goal, maybe a little touchdown or something like that. It seemed like all the mistakes that the Ravens were making were like not as detrimental to them as like Russ's fumble and Russ's pick six were the two biggest mistakes in this game, and they costed us 14 points, which was basically the difference in the game. Like it was they were bad plays, but also besides those two plays, I thought Russ played. I thought he played better than the last Steeler Ravens game. I thought he was playing pretty well. It was just those two plays, and it's like he was the only reason we were, in my opinion, the only reason we were in that game. But he was also the reason we lost the game. It was like
Hmm.
those two mistakes were like, bro, like you can't be doing, especially like I think somebody said it on TikTok. They were like, bro, even in Madden, I would have slid. Like, what are you doing trying to like, I don't know.
He was
Like
trying to prove himself, and he even
yeah,
kind of admitted that. Like, he was just trying to really kind of prove himself. And I mean, look, that's you can't do that. Like, you can't go one on one with no safety, bro. You're not Josh Allen. Like, you just, I don't know what the process kind of behind that was, but I know for a fact you're not Josh Allen, man. Then that was rough. Um, but yeah, you got anything else to add about the team?
nah, I mean, this game really was more like it wasn't even like I was like when I was texting you and all that. I was texting my dad and all that. I was like, joking around, blah blah blah. This was one of them games that like
You knew y'all was gonna lose.
yeah, and it could only been positive for like it could have only gone positively for us because I already wrote this off as an L. Like I already knew this game was a loss, so the only
Yeah,
way it could have gone was up. But no, I think once we get Pickens back, I think they were saying that majority of the people that were out are expected to hopefully play against the Chiefs. I'm not saying we're gonna beat the Chiefs. I just think it might be a little bit more of a little bit better of a game. I thought this game was
yeah,
solid for the first half, and then the second half they just ran away with it.
yeah. I agree. Um, yeah, I mean Baltimore, they just clutched up in the fourth quarter. A few big Derrick Henry runs, big plays from the defense. They got it done. Going on to the next game, Sunday slate. Let's get into it Monday morning. Let's start off Michael Penix's first career start. Giants traveled to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons blew them out 34-7. Giants dropped to 2-13. Falcons 8-7 now. Um, my takes on the Atlanta. First of all, that pick was not on Penix. I don't know what the hell Kyle Pitts was doing on that play. I can't really describe it, but it was bad. He basically threw the ball right to the defender. He caught the ball and just gave it right to Cordell Flott. I think it was Cordell Flott. But yeah, Drew Lock isn't that, bro. Drew Lock is he's bad, bro. Two pick sixes for the Falcons defense. Tyrone Tracy had a solid day. Malik is whatever, 7 catches around 70 yards. But I thought Penix did well. I mean, they relied on the run game, but I thought he didn't do bad for his first career game. I really wish they would have gave him that shot against the Raiders so he can have build on these games because he's got a pretty solid schedule. But his second career game being against the Commanders, I mean, they're gonna blitz. I know Dan Campbell's gonna. I said Dan Campbell. Dan Quinn is gonna blitz the hell out of him, um, and throw him a whole bunch of looks. But I think overall the Falcons did what they're supposed to do against the Giants, who are arguably the worst team they're the worst team in the league. They did what they had to do. But yeah, this first of all, on one of the picks Drew Lock threw, or I think they ruled it a fumble, whatever they did, where they pick sixed it. I think it was no, they ruled it a pick. The offensive line for the Giants, so bad. Guys are not as bad. They're definitely going to fire Dabo. I think Dabo is going to get picked up instantly for an OC spot. Like he's going to be hired. I mean, just the way the Giants team has fell apart. I want to talk about them real quick. They fell apart pretty bad, and I don't think it's on the coaching. I mean, when your coach is advocating for you to get a new quarterback, and then you keep the quarterback he didn't want, who's obviously overpaid, and then you cut him mid-season, like, what is your head coach supposed to do with that? Like, I feel like a lot of these teams go fire their head coaches, and it's like, bro, you're not helping them as an organization as well. Like, you're not following their vision. I feel like when you hire a coach, you have to follow their vision to a certain point. I mean, that's why you hired them. But if you're just gonna make all of the decisions and override them and then fire them when shit like this happens, mean, it's rough, man. But the Giants, they gonna have the number one pick. They're probably gonna fire Dabo. I think they should keep him. I mean, I want to see what he can do with the Shador or whoever they bring in, Cam Ward, because I mean he never really had his guy, and I kind of want to see what they would do. I mean, I don't think it's 100% they fire him, but it's about 90%. So
Yeah, I thought Penix did enough to obviously win the game, where Kirk was doing enough to lose him the game, and I think that was the difference in the game. And the defense completely stepped up. This is exactly what you brought Judon here for. He made that impact play of the pick six, and
mhm.
and then Jesse Bates. I mean, two of your biggest free agency acquisitions, even though they traded for him for Judon last year, but in the last 2 years with Judon and Bates, I mean, two pick sixes is insane. Granted, up against a very bad Giants team.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, again, I just thought like he didn't really. Like, again, I thought he was solid. Don't get me wrong, but like he didn't do anything that was like amazingly. Oh my god! But he didn't do
Oh,
anything.
Penix, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he didn't do nothing bad enough to like.
it's his first game.
Man, exactly. Yeah, he's a rookie. I'm sure we'll get into with other rookie quarterbacks, especially that one in Washington. It's like eventually the expectations are like they are still a rookie. You can't have the expectations of like they start balling and then it turns into kind of like the effect of how we saw CJ Stroud last year, where it was like now that's everybody's expectations for rookie quarterbacks.
It's that I hate people who think like that. I think that's just I don't hate people, but I just hate the idea of thinking like people have to understand that you're not always gonna get a LeBron. You're not gonna get a Wemby. You're not gonna get these guys. And even in NFL, you're not gonna get CJ, bro. You're not gonna get Mahomes. You're not gonna get these guys that's gonna come in and just be franchise altering in year one. Like, yeah, you can say Bo and Jaden are doing that or whatever, but like, bro, rookies are gonna have rookie games where they mess up. Penix is his first career game. They went and got the dub. He did okay for his first career game. I mean, he played the worst team in the league. So, you take what you get. You take their first. You always take a rookie's first few games with a grain of salt. It just is what it is. Their first few games, whether they play really well or they play really bad, you got to take what it is with a grain of salt. And that's what you got to do with Penix because he's got Washington next week. That's a tough team. That's a playoff team. And you're playing them, you know what I'm saying, on the road, I assume. I think it's on the road. Yeah, it's on the road. And it's like he could go out there and stink it up. But does that mean Penix is bad? No, man. It's his second career game. But you're not going to hear people say that. But yeah.
Yeah, it does suck that possibly, and we'll get into it a little bit later. Possibly that Penix's fourth game will be a playoff game, and he was rushed into it as a rookie quarterback. You know, it's like,
Exactly. Like there's a real chance they make the playoffs and this
hmm
man has to play a playoff game. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Again, I thought his weapons stepped up for him. I thought Bijan had a crazy day. Darnell Mooney and Drake London, they were pretty solid as well. It was really just I saw somebody on Twitter. They were like, Brock Bowers is what we all thought Kyle Pitts was gonna be, and
Hmm.
I mean Kyle Pitts is labeled. He was labeled as a generational tight end, and it's like, dude, like I don't know, I don't know. But besides the point, more on Penix. I thought he was solid. Nothing to sell the game. Nothing to completely go out there and win the game. I thought the defense and Bijan were really the main reasons. I thought Penix was just facilitating, doing what he had to do as a rookie quarterback. He played solid.
Yeah. Going on to the next game, we talked about this one kind of briefly. Lions traveled to Chicago to take on the Bears. They win the game 34-17. Bears drop to 4-11. Lions go to 13-2. They are undefeated on the road. Jared Goff balled out. Jameer balled out. Jamison and Amon Ra balled out. Um, and the Bears, I mean, it's tough. Had two turnovers kind of early in the game, two fumbles. They didn't really get shit out of the run game, but that's because they were down most of it. Keenan had a big game. Rome had a okay game. He had turnover early, but kind of made up for it. They had three fumbles in this game. I mean, it was just bad. Um, Caleb was able to get one of them back, but I mean, it's just bad. The Bears are always kind of lingering, and then the Lions just ran away with it after that Jamison score. But shout out to the Lions, man. This is a game they needed to kind of win. They needed a convincing win. I mean, you know what I mean by convincing. Like they needed a win that was like, all right, they just beat the shit out these guys. Because after the Buffalo loss, they barely won against Green Bay, barely won against Chicago. Like they needed a win to define themselves again, and they got it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's also like a divisional game as well to go out there
Hmm.
and in Chicago take care of them the way they did is. I understand what you're saying. People are gonna look at just the team as the Bears and they stink, but it's like it is a divisional game
It's a
at the end of
divisional
the day.
game.
Yeah, it also is the biggest takeaway. Cool that the Lions are the Lions. They did exactly what they always do. The talent on this Chicago team is just going to waste, bro. It's like I do think Caleb is still very, 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 very talented. He sometimes makes dumb decisions, but again, exactly like we were just saying with Penix, it's like he's a
He's a
rookie
rookie.
quarterback, and it's like Keenan Allen again, like you said, was balling. Rome was balling. DJ Moore was balling. It's like there is so much raw talent. I mean, just them three, they almost combined for 300 yards. It's like there's just so much talent. It's going to waste, and it's like
I
they
don't know if
really
he can
need.
get it done in Chicago. I just they're such a bad organization. You
Mm-hmm.
got to get this head coach right. And
Exactly.
people saying it's got to be an offensive guy. I don't think it. I think you need. I don't know. I mean, I'm high on Vrabel. I don't know if you're high on Vrabel like I am.
Yeah, I like him.
I mean, you need somebody to come in there and change the culture first. That's like this isn't a team where you're used to winning and you need to bring in an offensive guy. You need a culture changer because the Bears are just a disaster. Like the culture, the franchise is a disaster. Like I think people be overjuicing these young OC hires. It's not what you necessarily need all the time. Like you look at the Chargers, you look at teams like the Chargers, the Commanders, the Broncos. Like they didn't make like specific size of the ball hires. They make culture hires. I mean, Dan Quinn's culture is Stan Quinn's culture. Like I'm not saying it's to the level of John and Jim. I said John and Jim, Jim and Sean, but I mean, you see what he's doing to that team. It's what the team needs right now. He did the same thing when he was at Atlanta when he was in Atlanta, and it's like it's tough, man. Like I say they hired Ben Johnson, like a guy like Ben Johnson needs to come in there where a culture is already established. Like he can't be. I don't think he's a culture changing coach. And Bears fans have to realize it's not all about just getting a young OC to work with Caleb, like hiring Cliff Kingsbury. Okay, yeah, you're gonna work with Caleb, but then what about the rest of the team? Then you're gonna say our DC sucks. No, bro, you need someone who can hire, who can come in, change the culture, put together a good staff, hire good coaches from top to bottom, establish a new agenda in the locker room. And that's what you need when you're a franchise like Chicago. Like these franchises like Chicago, Jacksonville, the Raiders. That's what they need, bro. Hiring these OCs and these like it's not gonna work, bro. These offensive minded guys, it's not gonna work. Not for teams like the Bears.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody. I forgot who it was, but he was a Bears fan on IG, and we were talking about how I was like, man, like this was before Bill got hired. I was like, man, I wouldn't mind them bringing Bill in, and like I really think again, like exactly like you said, of the like eventually it's like, man, you need a hard nosed coach to just reset the whole culture. I think Vabro would be a solid one. I think Bill would be a solid one. But obviously Bill already got a job.
I don't know about Bill.
I like Bill. I do think Bill would.
No,
You got it.
no, I was gonna say I like Bill. I just don't know
Hmm.
about Bill with Caleb. Like Caleb is
He's pretty
Bill
high on
going.
him on the
No,
McAfee show. He talks about him quite
yeah,
often.
but Bill, bro, did you see Bill in the meetings with Brady?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that would be
you think
more on
Caleb can
Caleb
handle
though.
that?
Again, that would be more on Caleb. That would have nothing to do with Bill. That would be
Yeah,
more
I
of
know. No,
can
no.
Caleb handle it?
Yeah, but like a guy like Caleb, you need someone that can work with and have patience. Not saying Belichick won't have patience, but Belichick ain't finna like, bro. He gonna tell like, I don't know. I just don't know if that's the right fit. Like, but no, but I get your philosophy, and I think any team looking for to rebuild the culture, Belichick should have been an option. I mean, he's obviously in North Carolina, but I think he should have been an option for a lot of teams. I think he'd have been a good fit in Jacksonville or the Raiders. I feel like that would have been a great fit.
So do you think that they should only look for a fit for how the quarterback can fit with the head coach, or do you think they should look at it as, well, let's say these 52 other people are cool, they can fit under Bill's mindset and style, but Caleb can't, so we can't hire Bill. Granted, Bill already got the
Well,
job, so
well, no, I was just talking about specifically Bill. Like,
mhm.
I still think going that route is the right way. I just don't think Bill. Like the way Bill coaches in today's NFL, a lot of guys would take it the wrong way just because of how he is. Like if you go back and listen, anything any former player says about Bill, like it's we won, but it wasn't just the fact that it's fun, but like nobody got special treatment and nobody he held everybody fucking accountable. And sometimes like Caleb, he's never had that. Like that's hard to go in there with a year two quarterback. You're coming in there like, and I don't know if I trust Bill in his development with young quarterbacks because of what the hell he did in New England with Mac, putting what's his name, man, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as the co-offensive coordinators. I don't know, bro. Bill, if he go back to the league, he might need a veteran, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. You know how bad that was. Like that don't get talked about as much, but do you know how bad that was?
Yeah, I
That was
remember Bailey.
catastrophic.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi was over there lighting up the Steelers. Didn't he do something with the Broncos on like Christmas too? Wasn't Bailey
All right,
Zappi
bro, you
kind of?
trying to piss me off?
What was it? Devontae Parker, something about catch on PS2 or something.
All right, bro. Yeah. Nah, but I mean, like, I'm thinking about it from that perspective. Like, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It just,
No,
mm,
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's also again, Bill already got hired, so like I guess Bill isn't really a great example. It is also just like would you hire the head coach to fit with the quarterback, but like he not be like a amazingly great like culture changing head coach, or do you hire somebody that's going to change the culture? And if your quarterback can't adapt to that, then it's like, well, that's your quarterback's fault. Then we got the wrong quarterback, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, no, 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 no. I agree. No, I agree with the second option, of course. I was just saying, Bill. I Bill's a
That man
different
will
breed,
walk
though.
in the room and he'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Caleb?"
Yeah, like you feel me? Like I don't think Caleb, and I don't know Caleb at all, you know what I'm saying? But just based on like how his personality is perceived and how he gives it off, like I don't know if Caleb could handle that. Like, bro, come on. Bill goes there and says, Caleb, you think I give a shit that you threw for 350 and 3 touchdowns and had a perfect passer rating?
And won the
He gonna
Heisman.
turn on that tape. What the fuck was this? You think you're the best quarterback in the fucking league? Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, I don't know if Caleb could handle that. Brady could, because Brady's the ultimate competitor. He's like, okay, you think I play fucking trash? Brady was going out there trying to show up his own coach. Like, that's how insane Brady was. I don't know if Caleb has that in him. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think any of these new guys in the league have that in them.
it's something like that though, and it doesn't have to just be Bill. And this kind of like wrap it back to the original like point of like
Mhm.
any of these hard nosed head coaches. It's like bring them in, change the culture, and if your quarterback can't, or if any of your players can't adapt to it, then it's like I mean, like for example, I think Keenan could. I don't know if Keenan gonna be on the team next year, but I think Keenan could adapt to it. I think DJ Moore could adapt to it. I think DeAndre Swift could adapt to it. I think like all these veterans could.
The only
And
guy would be
eventually,
Caleb.
well, eventually there's also like well, the first year of his career didn't go great. Maybe this is like a little something that he would need of like a hard nosed head coach that's gonna be on his ass about every little detail. Because I mean, I thought, for example, like he taking care of the ball. I don't think he's thrown a pick in like I don't know how long. It's been a while since he's thrown a pick.
Caleb?
Yeah, he hasn't thrown a
Did
pick
he
in
throw
like
a pick today?
nah.
Oh,
Let me look.
I got it right here.
Bet. When's the last time you threw a pick?
Uh, let's see. Shit, it's been a minute. It ain't been in the
Yeah.
last 5 games.
So it's like
It's
he's taking
been
care of the ball.
damn.
He
It's
he
been since
he's
shit.
playing like mature. Like he's playing mature. He's playing like I'm not
It
saying like a
was
vet, but he's
October
taking care of the ball.
13th against the Jags.
So in London.
October 13th. It's been almost two
So what
months.
week 5?
No, it's been 2 months.
2 months. Okay,
No,
okay,
week 3, 4, week 6.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it is just more about the personality of like you bring in a hard nosed head coach like that, and it's like, can he adapt? Can everybody adapt? And it's like the quarterback is gonna always be the first question. Or a rookie quarterback going to his second year on a new head coach, because they're not going to retire the interim head coach. They're probably going to look for a legit head coach. Head coach.
No, they gonna clean staff.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah, no,
it'll be interesting.
yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, let's move on. Going to the next game, the Browns travel to Cincy, take on the Bengals. I want to keep this short and simple. Joe Burrow's fantastic, 23 of 30, 252, three touchdowns. Chase Brown almost had 100 yards. Jamar had 97 and a touchdown. T had a nice little game. During if the Browns have Jameis, I think they win this game. They had a lot of opportunities. They start off the game with a 70-yard rush, got it to the one, they fumbled it. Then they just could never score. I mean, the Bengals, like, they had 24 because the Browns kept turning the ball over in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying Jameis. I feel like they would have won this game if they had Jameis. Just DTR, he is awful, Ryan. Like he's terrible, bro. 20 for 34, a buck 57, two interceptions. I mean, he's bad, bro. You know he's bad. He's like disaster. He's disaster. This is one of the worst defenses, by the way, and he was awful. He couldn't make a read, and he was throwing terrible picks. Like Jerry Judy had two catches for 20 yards. Like that's insane, bro. Judy's been one of the hottest receivers in the league. He had two catches for 20. He had three targets. How did Jerome Ford have more targets than Jerry Judy? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the move to DTR was literally just a draft position. They know that they're not going to win anything, so it's like, even as bad as Jameis has been playing with some of the turnovers, he's still not this bad, you know.
Oh no, he ain't that bad. He could at least go get you some touchdowns. I mean, this is
Mhm.
terrible, bro. DTR. I mean, I'm literally like, I need the Browns to win this game, and I'm watching this game like, okay, DTR. He threw two picks in like the red zone, bro. This dude is bad, bro. He's not good. Like it's fucking the Browns OCs was just they were looking up in the booth. They kept going to the booth and they were just like it was just like, God damn, bro. I feel bad. And they were talking about how they would talk to him before the game and he just knew how big of a shot this was for him in his career. And it's just like, damn, it's fucked up.
Something that was not like a big takeaway, but like, would you say the Bengals could be a playoff team this year?
Could be hell yeah. I
Okay.
think could be, yeah. I think you're gonna have to go win out two really. I mean, look, I know I've been really cute with ridicule my team, but their two wins are huge too. They gotta be Denver and they gotta be Pittsburgh. I mean, because look, if they lose out and Denver loses out, shit, Denver's still in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's gonna be tough. Like, because I mean, look, man, they got Denver at home. I might pick Cincy to win that game, and I'm a Bronco fan. But that's not gonna be no easy win. Like, that's still gonna be a little tough win. I mean, Denver's getting Riley Moss back. Denver's gonna be playing. Sean held a press conference today to clear some shit up. And I think he's going to Denver had a mini bye to kind of get ready for Cincy. Um, and Sean said that they definitely use that to their advantage. They've been working on Cincy for a little while now. So that game's gonna be tough for them. But I mean, the way Joe Burrow has been balling, I feel like they could go beat Denver and go beat Pittsburgh. But
So
I mean, we'll
what?
see. Now, it's gonna be two hard wins.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. I ain't saying they're gonna be easy, but the way Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are putting on a heater right now offensively, and Chase Brown is starting to run the ball. Can they just beat Cleveland? So, like, I'm gassing them a little bit, but I'm just saying Joe Burrow and Jamar. I mean, they've been playing as well as anybody in the goddamn league. I mean, they're playing right now at a pace, quarterback, wide receiver wise, like we haven't seen in a while, bro. Like Joe Burrow, I mean, he's 70 completions. Like, it's nuts, bro. I mean, it's insane. Like, he's got this year 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. In the last 5 games, he's got 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And like, this is the Bengals we're talking about. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And that's probably one of his worst 5 game stretches of his worst 5 game stretch of the season. So And Jamar right now is on pace to get the triple crown. So you got Pat Surtain with probably the biggest game of his life coming up in this game. So yeah, man, it's the Bengals definitely got a shot.
So we should judge them like a playoff team, is what you're saying?
I mean, look, kinda.
Well,
Um,
it's a yes or no. Should we judge them like a
yeah,
playoff team? Because
yeah. I mean,
I
because
think
right
they're a
now,
playoff team. I think we should judge them like a playoff team.
yeah, I mean, because right now they're on a 3 game win streak. They're headed into 2 humongous games. Like they're in the hunt. I mean, look, if you beat Denver, like if you beat Denver, man, you probably gonna make the playoffs. Unless, I mean, a lot is gonna have to happen, candy, because we all know, just say for example, KC sits their guys, say Russell, because if you're Cincy, you need a Pittsburgh win Wednesday. You need them to win. So you got a lot to go for. But Cincy, I'm looking at them as a playoff team because if you can go in there and beat Denver on 3:30 Saturday, the game might be rainy. If you go in there and you beat that team, like you got a whole new identity of your team, especially if your defense plays well. You got a whole another identity because the defense has been historically bad. And I just want to say this and I'm a Bronco fan saying this. If they make the playoffs, Joe Burrow's the MVP, right? I mean,
No.
I know obviously he's not going to win it, but how? Like, Ryan, okay, hear me out. How? This defense is historically bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Like
just
the
you also have to take into
playoffs,
consideration what he was doing at the beginning of the season. He was balling, but also I don't know.
he was balling at the beginning of the year.
Just what
Outside of the first
Josh,
game,
yeah, what Josh and Lamar have been doing. It's like it also does impact. It matters the team, the amount of wins the team gets, and the seeding and all that. Like you barely sneak into the playoffs, and he's the MVP. It's like
no, I hear you, but
if he was on a better team, like if his team together was better, if they were if they were the second seed, if they were the fifth seed, if they were about to win the division, it's like then yes, I could see the argument.
I mean, look, okay, look. Here's what I'll say about all this, right? If you go rank Joe Burrow, he has a higher completion percentage than Lamar and Josh. He leads the league in yards. He leads the league in touchdowns. He leads the league in yards per game. I mean, I think he doesn't. I mean, he's third in QB behind Josh and Lamar. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying he would probably be my MVP because of what you got to carry. He has the worst defense in the league, arguably the league. That defense is horrid. I mean, he's 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean, okay, say for example, he finishes the year with what 45-9, like 45-9. Like in say for example, they get the wild card. Like, yeah, they're not gonna give it to him. I'm just saying, like, he would definitely get my vote. I mean, I'm a Lamar guy. Lamar's got 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But just what Joe Burrow's, I mean, people been saying this is Joe Burrow's fault, bro. Like this dude is, if they make the playoffs, it's insane. It's literally only because him and Jamar are able to put up so many points on the offensive side of the ball. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely not his fault, but also some of the turnovers that he like the fumble today, for example, 4 minutes left in the game, they're up by 9 points. He fumbles the ball. If you play in a playoff team in the playoffs, I mean,
I mean, he got stripped by Garrett, right?
No.
How would he fumble? Because I remember the fumble, but I can't remember if it was. Let me see.
Third and
I can see.
goal, sacked for 14 yards. The fumble was recovered by Jay Briggs.
Oh yeah. I remember.
It's like not even that game, but like the last game against the Titans, he had 2 picks, and it's like just some of the timing on him, or like for example with the Steelers, he threw that pick, for strip sack, fumble for a touchdown. TJ strip sacked him, and it's like when you hit the playoffs, those type of plays are what's gonna get you sent home. And it's like he's been
Yeah,
balling. Like I'm not saying he's not,
I agree.
but it's like those are some of the
This
like
is my
to
opinion.
say that he's like he's otherworldly right now. and to like not acknowledge. I'm not talking about you because you can acknowledge the
Okay.
turnovers, but like to say that he is like out of this world, completely different than anybody else, and it's like you also have to like some of the turnovers are kind of bad timing, and there are if you're playing a legit playoff team, I mean, it's gonna be. It's going to cost you the game, you know. And it's like your defense giving up 40 is also going to cost you the game. But it's like just some of the turnovers when they happen just isn't really the greatest of timing. But that's also being picky because if you have to put up 40 points a game to win, it's like, well, you turn over the ball once and they say, well, yeah, it's his fault because he turned the ball over with 2 minutes left in the game. It's like, it's not really fair because most defenses aren't giving up 40 points a game. But I don't know. I guess that's just being picky because if we're judging them as a playoff team, then we should also imagine them in the playoffs. You know, I mean, again, you
Yeah.
fumble the ball with 4 minutes left, 4:30 left in the game against the Bills. The Bills could go down there and score a touchdown, and it's a 1 point game. You know,
Mm.
I don't know. That's just me being
Yeah, no,
picky
you're
though.
right. Yeah, look, I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. It would just be my opinion. I just because I don't know. I just think you carrying your team, and it's just I'm not saying you're wrong. Every point you said was right. I just think carrying your team is I don't know carrying your team like that. Yeah, he gets turnovers at the some of the worst times, but I feel like that sometimes his team shouldn't even be in a position in that point in the game when you got 31 points and or you got 38 points and the other team got 41 and you're like fuck like you know what I'm saying but
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
that turnover shouldn't cost you the game because you have to be damn near
Exactly.
perfect the whole game. No, I get what
And
you're
it
saying.
yeah, and if the game is different, you're probably not going to turn the ball over there because you're not going to be playing aggressive. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. Yeah, going on to the next one. Let's get into it. Rams travel to MetLife, take on the Jets. This one's gonna be real simple. Rams winners were 19-9. They go to 9-6. The Jets drop to 4-11. Yeah, there's just another. The Jets just can get really nothing going offensively. They really tried to dominate the time of possession, and then they just couldn't convert. They tried to be that team. They were going to try to shoot the clock to keep Stafford and them off the field, and it just didn't happen. They just essentially just couldn't convert on a lot of. They got a lot of fourth downs. Um, they missed some field goals, especially. I think they missed one. Yeah, no, yeah, no, they missed one. But I mean, let's look at the Jets: touchdown, turnover on downs, field goal, turnover on downs, fumble, turnover on downs, missed field goal. That was it. They tried to dominate time of possession. I mean, like you look at their drives, 14 plays, 99 yards, 8 minutes. That was the first quarter. Um, they get the ball back. The play at the end, the drive at the end of the half was 15 plays, 67 yards, 6 minutes, 22 seconds. They turned the ball over on downs, 14 plays, 58 yards, 9 minutes, 45 seconds. Like it's crazy. And then they started getting down because they turned the ball over. Rams on that they had a 9.5 minute drive. Over a 9.5 minute, like that's crazy, bro. Rams get the field goal, then they fumbled, then the Rams scored a touchdown, then turnover on downs, field goal, then it was a 10-point game and the game's over. The Jets is just it's a disaster. And look, they beat I thought and I still think Devontae and A Rod had a decent connection this game. Um 7 catches. Something like we said, we didn't think he's gonna have. Me and you both said he wasn't gonna have the same game, but we thought he would be okay. He did still have a solid game. He did, but I'm just kind of surprised. My last takeaway for the Rams is just I was surprised that they're not even really letting Stafford cook. 14 for 19, 110, touchdown and pick. Pick was bad, but bro, they're feeding the shit out of Kyron, bro. Kyron is getting hella 20, another 23 carries, buck 22 in a touchdown. I mean, they're not even going at Puka for real or Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup had 3 targets. He's first of all, he's selling me in fantasy, but it's the 3 targets. Like, goddamn, man.
Yeah, I thought when they came out and they scored that touchdown to Devontae, and then the next drive they got that interception. I'm like, oh, like this might turn into a little game. But after that, I mean, the Jets just after that touchdown, they couldn't get anything going. They tried to completely force feed Devontae as well. I think he had like 13, 14 targets.
Yeah.
Um, and also, my biggest takeaway as a whole, again, if the Rams are a playoff team, we have to judge them as a playoff team. This offense will not, if they're playing like this in the playoffs, like they're not going to be able to be like on offense. it's not going to be sufficient enough to actually win against a real playoff legit team.
Uh-uh. Yeah,
Like
nah.
it's almost like if they can play like if their defense can play like they did today, and then their offense can play like they did against the Bills, dude, they might be the one of the scariest teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I think this game they just knew. I think they didn't want to play too over aggressive, and not saying that's a good game plan, but you could just kind of tell they weren't even looking at Cooper Cup's way, and it was like that last week too. I think a lot of these games that they're having, they're not. I'm not saying they're not playing their. Doesn't mean they're not playing their best, but like you could just kind of tell like over the last 2 weeks, Sean McVay hasn't pulled out all his bag of tricks. He hasn't pulled out. This is not a Sean McVay offense, and I think it's him trying to save what they kind of have. Um, I think they don't want to risk Puka or Cooper Cup getting hurt. I think that's a lot of it. I think they don't want either one of those guys to go down in quote unquote meaningless games because they believe they could beat the Jets just running the football. They believe they could have beat San Francisco by maybe just running the football. And I think San Francisco is a little bit different though. That was different. But this game for sure, I think they believe they could beat the Jets by just running the football and playing good defense. And they don't want to risk because they know if either Cup or Nakua goes down, you have no shot in the playoffs of beating anyone. So I think they're being really cautious on how they're moving. I mean, they got the Cardinals and the Seahawks next, two huge games. They're gonna need them. Like I'm starting Cooper Cup next week. I think they're going back for him. Like I think this is the game where he gets it going again, and especially the Seattle game.
Yeah, it's just it is a little bit concerning that it is back to back weeks. I also understand what you're saying. I didn't even think about it like that. So I mean that is a very very good point. It's just a little concerning that it's like back to back weeks. Granted, like you were saying, the 49ers game was a little different. It was in the rain, divisional rival on a short week, off of a crazy game against the Bills. It's like I get that. I just kind of thought this Rams offense would look a little bit better. Granted, I also thought the Jets offense was going to look a little bit better too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be a. I think this next game at home against the divisional rival, the Cardinals already eliminated. I agree with you. Where this is one of those games that it's like it'd be nice to see the offense kind of a little bit more towards that Bills game compared to the last two games. You know.
Yeah, I think they'll get back passing the ball because they're not really throwing it. And that's the thing. It's not like Stafford has a lot of attempts. He threw like 19 balls today, so we'll see how it goes. But I think they'll wake up over the next 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, go to the next game. Titans travel to Indy to take on the Colts. Colts win the game 38-30. They go to 7-8. Titans drop to 3-12. Two takeaways from this game. They don't trust Anthony Richardson worth a damn. 11 passes is kind of crazy. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, Anthony Richardson was getting it on the ground too, but Jonathan Taylor, my God, he is back in his prime. It came against the Denver game. He was cooking. And then this game just boom. I mean, he fucking exploded, bro. 29, no did he? 29 carries, 218 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, bro, crazy. I mean, he killed him. He had like 2 70-yard touchdowns, bro. Like he killed them. But going to the Titans, shout out to them. I mean, they Mason Rudolph stayed in it. He didn't give a damn. He threw 3 picks. That brother said, I don't give a fuck. I'm coming back out here, bro. We gonna make a run. They almost came back and won this game, low key at the end. They cut it to an 8-point game, but the Colts able to hang on. But Colts stay alive in the playoff hunt. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't think the Colts are gonna make the playoffs. I mean, they can, but I mean, say they're probably gonna finish the year 9-8. But I mean, even if say Denver loses out, the Bengals end up losing the last game of the year. I mean, come on, man. The Broncos got the tiebreaker. I mean, they could make it over the Chargers, but the Chargers are gonna win out. It's just tough for the Colts. That Denver game is gonna forever haunt them. But yeah,
Yeah. The only takeaway from me is that JT went crazy and that they almost choked the game away. And yeah, this isn't a playoff team at the end of the day. Like they're a borderline. They like they could have maybe if a couple games went like one or two more games went their way or whatever, maybe. But like this team isn't Like be for like this team is not gonna if
He
they even
said,
make
like, be for real.
if they even make the playoffs, it's wraps. You know, it's over.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they're not. They got a long way to go to Anthony Richardson. He's got a long way to go, bro. A long way to go in his development. Going to the next game, Eagles travel to Washington and wherever if the place is called. They win the game 36-33. They get the dub 10. They get the dub and go to 10-5. Eagles drop to 12-3. This is by far the shocker of the day, kind of. Everybody knows Jalen Hurts went out of his game with a concussion early, kind of in the first quarter. But my man, I got three takeaways from this game. I'll start with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, shout out to him. I mean, look, Bo had a game like this against the Colts, played badly, turning the ball over left and right, but still found a way to stick through it and make plays down the stretch for your team to win the game. And that's what good quarterbacks do. I mean, Jaden made plays with his legs. He made plays in the air. I mean, he's throwing to guys like Jamison Crowder, man. Shout out to them. They got the dub. Going to the Philly side of the thing, though, Devontae Smith got to be killing himself. Like, it is no way, and I don't mean literally for people wondering. I'm just saying, like, he's got to be beating himself up. Like, dude, that drop was so bad. It was bad, bro. You catch the ball, you win the game. It's that simple. Shout out to Saquon, 29 carries, a buck, 52 touchdowns. I saw a lot of people saying, man, if we had Jalen in this game, we win. Bro, Kenny didn't really do much. Like, I mean, the game to me wasn't lost because of Kenny Pickett. The game was lost because your receiver dropped the ball and your defense gave up a touchdown drive. I mean, that's just pretty much what it is. I mean, people giving Philly's defense here a break. I mean, their defense didn't play that well. Washington scored 22 in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you're supposed to have a top two best defense in the league, and that's happening. I mean, even when the Washington got the ball back, right? Like, they went down the field. That's just kind of the crazy thing with me is like it's not like you know what I'm saying. I mean, Philly went down there. The drop resulted in a field goal, so Washington gets the ball back with like 2 minutes left, and they go down the field. Like, bro, Washington got the ball at would they get the ball at? Did they get the ball at the yeah, no. They got the ball at the 43. So they got the ball near midfield, but Philly's defense let them go right down there and get a touchdown. So that was rough, man. That was real rough for Philly. But I'm not gonna sit and say the reason why they lost because Jalen Hurts got hurt. They could have still won the game. Devontae Smith dropped the ball. That's just the defense should have played better, and Devontae Smith dropped the ball. Those are just my main two takeaways from Philly.
Man, I'm a little bit more on the other end. I think if Jalen was in, and I know you agree. Like if Jalen was playing, they would have won. I understand you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They definitely would have won. I understand you. Like I understand what you're saying of, uh, even
they
with
could have won the
Kenny.
game without him
Yeah,
too.
even with exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
I don't know.
because
You got it. You got it.
no, I was gonna say I didn't want to cut you off. No, I was just saying like, and I mean Jaden basically threw the game away. That second pick he threw was horrible. I mean that was supposed to be ball game. Like so, it's like yeah, the defense didn't play that well, but they also made the play to kind of win the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. You were also saying Kenny didn't really do much. Exactly. He didn't do much. He he didn't do anything. Like he had that nice little touchdown, even though it was a little slant route to AJ Brown, whatever. Um, but like besides that, it was really he threw a pick and got sacked 3 times. He took 3 bad sacks too, and I remember people saying
Pick was
that
horrible.
yeah, it was bad. It was also people saying like this is what we were dealing with for the last 2 years. You know, this is what Tomlin was dealing with. Granted, they drafted him, cool, whatever. But like this is what the Steelers fans were like dealing with for the last couple of years. And it's like this is what I'm talking about when I say, and I know you understand. So I'm not talking to you, but like this Russ is an upgrade over this. You know, Russ is a
Oh
complete
yeah,
upgrade
most
over
definitely
this.
1,000%.
Fields is an upgrade over this. Like if they had Russ on Philly for this specific game, they would have won. I thought this game really proved that like like Jalen's impact to this team, but you can also say that about any starting quarterback.
Mm,
If Patrick Mahomes goes down and Wentz comes in, it's like
yeah, I mean, you're right, but I feel like even with that though, like Kenny didn't do much, but I feel like he did kind of enough. Like you knew Kenny was gonna turn it over. I mean, I'm saying like, given what you expect from Kenny Pickett, bro. Like Kenny's not gonna come in there and throw some crazy bombs and be like a Jameis. But I mean, look, AJ still was able to get his. Saquon gave you what Saquon does. Your defense got the pick. I mean, when the game on the line, they dialed it up and Devontae just dropped it. Like, I can't put that on Kenny. It wasn't like it was a bad ball by any means. Devontae dropped it. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. Kenny, I feel like he did enough for them to get the win. He didn't play. I mean, he had a Kenny Pickett game. But at the end of it, when it came down to it, gotta catch that ball, bro. And I'm not gonna put the game solely on his shoulders. Defense had a part to do with it as well. Jalen's injury, all of that. But like, I know what I would say if it was my team. You got to catch the fucking ball. And it's just that simple. But Devontae's a great receiver. It's just tough. Like you saw the one-handed catch he made this year. Like he has great hands, bro. It's tough. It's real tough. But hey man, look, I've said it before. Jaden Daniels, he's gonna probably get offensive. He's gonna win offensive rookie of the year.
yeah, there ain't
But
no probably.
yeah, I don't know why I said probably. He's gonna get offensive rookie of the year. It's just tough, like that people gonna continue to shit on all these rookie quarterbacks for anything that they do, and it's tough, man. I mean, he didn't have his best game, but hey, bro, he stuck through it and got the dub. Shout out to him. I know there's a certain quarterback in the AFC who recently had a game like this. Oh man, he got shitted on, called everything. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there were some plays that like, especially that I think it was a fourth down, like 4th and 8, 4th and 12, something like that, towards the end of the game, where he like took off and he ran. It reminded me a lot of like the elusiveness of like young Lamar, where he was able just to like run through people, and he just looked like he was moving at a completely different speed than everybody else. It was on that play like I don't know how they missed him. Like the defenders completely missed him. He just ran straight through him. Like he didn't run over him. He didn't juke him. Nothing. He literally
Yeah, it was a
ran
player. It
straight
was
through him.
already 12 men on the field.
Yeah, it was like, bro. No, that was a touchdown to Zacchaeus. I don't know if it might have been, they might have done it twice. I know that a touchdown to Zacchaeus.
What a play you talking about?
It was like the 4th and 12 or 4th and 8, and nobody was open, and Jaden just took off. He just took off running,
Oh
and
yeah, it was like a 30-yard gain. You talking about that? Okay, yeah. I got confused
he
on
was
what you
just
had said.
moving
Yeah,
at he was just moving at a completely different speed than everybody. He was just it was crazy. And again, even like that last touchdown, it was like the as a rookie quarterback, it wasn't like dude was open in the back of the end zone, but like just like I don't know the like that something to be able to make that throw in that moment was and to throw for 5 touchdowns too. Man, credit to him. Credit to
yeah.
him.
My bad. Yeah. Going on to the next game, the Cardinals travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Panthers win this game 36-30. The Cardinals curse just right back on track with us. They go to 4-11. Cardinals drop to 7-8 and are officially eliminated from the playoffs. I'll start with the Panthers. My main takeaway from them was shout out to Bryce. He stuck through it, was resilient, got it did things with his arm, with his legs. 17 for 26, a buck 58, 2 touchdowns with also 68 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Chuba Hubbard was phenomenal. He was insane. 25 carries, a buck 52, touchdowns. Um, Shout out to the Panthers, man. Bryce proving himself, man. I'm so happy for that kid. Um, Here's what I gotta say about the Cardinals. We got to question Kyler Murray now, bro. I don't know if he's a franchise QB. I mean, the collapse that this team has had. I mean, they were on a one, two, three, four, five, six. Before this first Seahawks game, they had won 5, 6. They were sitting comfortably at like what was their record? 6-1, 2, 3, 4. They were 6-4. I don't know what the hell happened, but Kyler just took a complete shit. Like he like the the decline he's had in touchdowns to interceptions is absolutely mind blowing to me. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened to Kyler, bro. Like You're talking about a team that was 6-4, and I remember me and you were talking about that. This team was like arguably a playoff team, that they could be a playoff team. Kyler was actually playing well, and you look over the last like these last 5 games for Kyler, he's got 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And I'm talking about 4 passing touchdowns. I mean, the rushing is whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you want to count rushing, just add a touchdown. So 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's still bad. I mean, he's been awful, bro. And he has 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions on the season. So you mean to tell me most of the interceptions come on the back half of the year? And this is a trend we've seen from Kyler. The year they started off with 8-0, something like that. It's these back half. It's always the back half of the season where Kyler is just awful, and it's just he just completely hits a decline on the back half of the season. I don't know what the hell that's about, but I mean, bro, you getting outplayed by Gene. Like you lose 2 games to Geno. I mean, you out here losing to Bryce Young. You out here You out here losing to Sam Darnold. And I ain't no disrespect to Sam, but the only win you got in the last what 1, 2, 3, 5 games is against the Patriots. And let's not act like that game was just some blowout. That game was close. So it's like, I mean, it wasn't really close. They were up 20. I ain't gonna hold them like that. They were 23-3 at one point. But it's just like that's the only convincing win you have is against the Patriots. And Kyler didn't even score a touchdown. No, he didn't even throw a touchdown. James Conner went off. So it's like, man, like you gotta add the organization's got a tough decision to make. Then they just pay Kyler all this money. Like, I don't know, man. You gotta give me what you think about Kyler.
I mean, I've never really been a huge fan of him as a person. He seems like a great person, but like him as like a football player and like as like a leader quarterback type thing. I don't know. I've never really been a huge fan of him, especially after that Rams playoff game where the whole team just collapsed. I think they went like 11-0 or something, or 9-0 one
No, they were
season.
like 8-0. It was like 8-0, I think.
Okay, and then they just completely collapsed after that.
Yeah, they
It
just
was
fucking hit a wall.
it was bad, but I mean, his upside is like it is very good. I do think he's a solid, okay quarterback, but like as like an elite
I
quarterback,
think
like
he
you
hit his
need in
peak.
this league. Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that. But like as like an elite quarterback that you need in this league,
He's not
he's not a
close.
Mahomes, he's not a Lamar, he's not a Josh, he's not a
Oh,
Burrow,
I don't even think he's second tier
he's not a Justin
QBs.
Fields, he's not a Kenny Pickett, he's nothing like that.
I think he falls in like the Derek Carr tier.
See, I don't know if I put him that low. I'm not. I don't really like Carr at all, to be honest with you.
I mean, I'm not saying he's worse than Derek Carr, but I'm saying
Yeah,
in terms of tier of quarterbacks, I think he falls in like the Russell Wilsons, the Derek Carrs, the Kirk Cousins. Like, eh, that is kind of low. But I mean, like, it's the inconsistencies for me, bro. It's just the inconsistencies. Like, I think Kyler's highs, he's like a tier 2 QB. Like, I think he's not on the Mahomes, Josh, Joe, Lamar level, but I think he's right under that at his best. And then you got his lows, and his lows are like fuck. Like he goes into that Kirk Cousins tier of the lows, and it's just bad. Like I don't know if Kyler, I don't think he's your franchise guy. I mean, I just don't. I mean, you can say yeah they don't have a lot around him, but the weapons aren't bad. You got a James Conner, you got a Trey McBride, you got a Marvin Harrison. Like your weapons aren't like in the other receivers they have aren't garbage.
and the offensive line is very good too.
Yeah, it's not bad. It may be middle of the pack, but it ain't bad. Like you're in the pixie throws, awful. I don't know. It's like I don't know what the fuck he's looking at. Like, damn, Kyler, what the fuck are you doing? Like, but I'm telling you, it's the second half of the. It's the second half of the. He just completely falls off, bro. I don't know what the fuck that's about. It's crazy.
Do you think it might be like a confidence thing of like he's like everyone gets on his ass about him falling off in that second half, so now it's like it's all in his head?
I mean, he confirmed the narrative this year, though. Like, think about it, he had been hurt, so the only other season we gotta go off on is the one that he was fully healthy and they fumbled at the end of the year. And it's like, bro, you're 6-4. We're talking about you fully positioned to make the playoffs. It's not like their schedule was difficult. The only difficult game they really had was the Vikings game. I mean, the Seattle game was a division, but you shouldn't have lost both. 6 points? Come on. You threw 2 picks. One of them was the pick six. You gave the game away. Like, it's just bad, bro. It just can't happen. You can't be losing out here to Carolina. You can't be losing to these teams, bro. You can't be losing all these
Yeah.
games. Like, you're eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. And
More
you
so,
had multiple opportunities in overtime.
yeah, that is true. More so on the Carolina side, man. If Bryce is legit like the franchise guy, and this isn't just a couple week thing of him just trying to prove himself, man, you need to get him some like legit weapons on like some legit
Oh, he
receivers, I
needs a
should say.
complete revamp.
Yeah, and it's like
He needs a yeah.
I do wonder if Carolina is looking at it as like is he legit? Is he like legit the
You
guy,
have to.
or is it just like a fluke month and some change? But it's also like he's still I mean he's a second year quarterback and he's finally kind of starting to come into his own like, and he's been balling, you know, like some of the things he wasn't doing early in his career, like especially anytime any sort of pressure would come towards him, he would fold. But like especially this game, there was I forgot what play. There was a play someone was coming straight through the B gap, and he just threw it right around him, took the hit, and like rookie Bryce, beginning of the season, Bryce was gonna fold, keep the ball, take the sack. So I mean, like, you can see the development from it, but I don't know. Like these receivers aren't it. Like you have to get him legit guys, which would make you kind of think. Granted, they wouldn't have gotten him with this case, but like DJ Moore would be a great receiver right now to have on the Carolina
Crazy.
Panthers, and it's like I don't know. I don't know.
I
Carolina
mean, yeah,
does have
no.
the upside though that you can see, and again, that's why we both picked them last week against Dallas, and they lost, and then we were both like, we're never picking them again, and then they go out there and beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the game of Bryce, ever since Bryce came back against Denver, they won 3 games, but they kind of outside of the Denver and the Dallas game where Bryce had a meltdown in the Dallas game. It was terrible. I mean, Bryce has been balling. I mean, they beat the Saints by one. The Giants one was in OT. The Giants gave him that game, but I thought Bryce played relatively well. He played okay. The Chiefs game, he balled. The Tampa game, he balled. The Philly game, I felt like he balled. And then you got the Dallas game, like I said, he shit the bucket. But this game, I thought he balled. I mean, look, he got drafted to the worst situation in the league. It's the reason why this team was picking first. They traded away everybody. They don't have weapons. They got Chuba. The offensive line isn't ass, but it isn't great. It's about maybe average. You could, if you want to say above average, I wouldn't hate it, but it's an average offensive line to me. Um, he needs a tight end. He needs a legit. Well, I mean, Thielen is whatever. He's not ass, but he's not elite. I mean, he needs a legit wide receiver one and a legit. I mean, I think Jalen Coker is nice. I think Jalen Coker can be your slot guy or a wide receiver too. But I think you need. I don't know about Leggett. The jury's still out on him. You need to go get 2 wide receivers and a tight end and another running back to help Chuba out. And I think you. I mean, Carolina doesn't really. I mean, the defense. Look, you're years away from contending. Years. I mean, I think next year maybe they could try to sneak in. They're going to have a last place schedule. They could maybe turn it around if they can get this offense clicking right. But the defense got a wow, bro. They got a wow. They need talent from all 3 phases.
But I mean, they had talent though. Like they had Burns, they had Luvu, J.C.
Jeremy
Horn is
Chin,
solid. Yeah, Jeremy Chin. It's like they had talent. They just let it walk. Like just completely walk away. You know, I got
yeah,
that's something I understand. I understood the Brian Burns thing, but like I don't know if you remember like when I
they
think it
had a
was
sign Reddick too.
did they?
They let him
Okay,
walk.
okay. I remember. I think it was the year after what 2022, the year after the Rams won the Super Bowl. I think it was, or it might have been the next year. I don't know. There was one year where
They had a
the
top 5 defense.
the Rams were trying to trade 2 first round picks to get Brian Burns. Was it 3? And it's like, bro, to just not even take that and then let him like you trade him for what peanuts compared to that. It's like
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was stupid.
That's something I don't get. But also that just kind of goes back to management and ownership, and yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, Panthers, they got a lot of work to do, but I think Bryce is the guy. But going on to the next game, Patriots travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills win this game 24-21. They go to 12-3. Patriots go to 3-12. This game was surprisingly close. They were leading at halftime. Buffalo kind of took off in the third quarter a little bit, but shout out to Drake May. This dude is gonna be special, bro. They just got to build around him. Shout out to Kayshawn Boot, had a solid game. Ramondre had a decent day on the ground, whatever, but Drake May was balling out. I thought Josh Allen, the way he played, was very, very weird. I know it's the divisional game. He always struggles against New England. Not always, but that's his one little kryptonite in the division. But I mean, he didn't look that well. James Cook ran the ball well, but they couldn't get nothing going in the receiving game. Kendra, I know it was freezing cold, but I mean, damn, they couldn't get nothing going passing. And you don't want to hit that wall before you got to play the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't hit that wall, man, going into the playoffs. But I think overall, it's not really much to take away from this game. Buffalo was still able to win the game, but I thought that it was this close. I mean, the Patriots are divisional, but it's the Patriots. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought being in, that they led a big chunk of this game was very concerning to me.
Yeah, as dumb as it is, and how dumb as it might sound, these are the games that, like, in my opinion, like legit contenders when they win. It's like the Bills found a way to come back 14-0 against a divisional rival, a bad team, and these are the games, in my opinion, that set are the difference between the Steelers, for example, where we completely blew it against the Browns. But it's like these are the division close games, down 14, like you're supposed to win. All the expectations are on you. Zero expectations on them at home. It's like those are the games that you gotta win. Those are the games that are important. Those are the games that like build the character of the team and like the morale of the team, and like I don't know, as it sounds dumb, but these are the types of games that really kind of show you who's that dog, who's like who you can lean on and all that. And it's like these are the games, in my opinion, that just set the teams apart. Set these like for example with you guys with the Chiefs. I mean, you guys are a good team. You guys are about to be a playoff team, but it's like the Chiefs found a way to win the game. You know, again, it was a blocked field goal or whatever. It's like those close division games where you're supposed to win are just I don't know. And that's the big thing that I took away from this game. Josh didn't play the greatest. He also hurt his right hand at the end of the game as well. Um, but yeah, I mean they got it done, and they uh, they could easily get the one seed still. So
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you saying. Um, yeah, nah, you got to find ways to win games like this. I'm just saying your offense can't be hitting a wall though. I know it's just one game, but we'll see how they are moving forward. But I mean, it is still a divisional game at the end of the day. But yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. They did get the dub. Going into the next game, good game. Vikings travel to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. Seahawks lose this one. Vikings get the dub 27-24. Seahawks fall to 8-7. Vikings go to 13-2. Sam Darnold was almost perfect in this game. 22 for 35, 246, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, I thought, had a solid day. Got involved in a lot of the offense. 18 carries for him, 67 yards. Had 3 catches as well. But Jettas broke this game open. He was ridiculous. Jettas was out of his mind. Gino had just another Gino game. Moments where he was Timothy, and the other one is like, Gino, what the fuck are you doing? They just seem like with Kenneth Walker, they can't run the ball, bro. I don't know what it is about Kenneth, but it just seems like Zach Charbonnet, first of all, getting 1 carry is criminal. I don't know if he got hurt. Did he get hurt in this game? No, just
yeah, I don't think so.
carry is criminal, but they can't run the ball with oh boy. But shout out to JSN proving himself to be wide receiver one, bro. 8 catches, 95 yards and a touchdown. But hey, shout out to Minnesota. This was a tough game. I mean, Seattle's gonna is it's not an easy win in Seattle at that, but they were able to get it. Justin Jefferson completely cooked Tariq Woolen, put him in a blender and tossed him around like a salad. I mean, it was bad, bro.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is easily having the best year of receivers. I still think Jettis is the
Yeah,
best receiver in the NFL. Not this
Yeah, I'm not gonna
season.
disagree with that.
I think he's still the best. The best. If you put him on the Bengals, he arguably could be doing even better than what Jamar is doing right now. He's he's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I mean they did enough to do what they had to do to win the game. Defense stepped up when they needed to win, or when they needed them to win the game. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and again, like you said, Sam Darnold was balling. If this is the Vikings you're gonna get every single week, and this is, in my opinion, and yeah, I don't know about your opinion. I'd like to hear what you have to say, but the Vikings sometimes are just so inconsistent that it's like you don't, especially I guess it's more so Sam Darnold that like you don't really. I think a lot of people are questioning them of like, are they like a legit playoff team or not? And the
I
roster
think they're
itself,
legit.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they're a legit playoff team. I just think Super Bowl contender. I don't know. I gotta see Sam Darnold. I mean, but the way he's playing, bro, Sam Darnold is like he could be anybody. But I mean, I just gotta see because you have everything, you the offensive unit is there. I just gotta see them. They show they can win in shootouts. I just don't. They gotta win if they can win in those close defensive games where Sam Darnold makes mistakes but can overcome those mistakes. Like he's just shown this year when he's down, he's down. Like he ain't coming back. So see how it goes. But I think with Jettis and the way Jettis and Addison is playing, and how Aaron Jones is just your Swiss Army knife. I want them to get Hawkinson more involved, but they've overall been playing really well offensively. They're probably gonna win a playoff game. Um, but yeah, we're not even gonna get into this game. I just recap it. Jaguars travel to Vegas, take on the Raiders. Raiders win the game 19-14. Both teams are 3-12. This game just locked up the Giants, pretty much getting the 1 seed. But this game was literally whatever. I don't give two shits about this game. This game was horrible. Um, you got anything to add before I move on?
nope.
All right. Go on to the next game. 49ers. 49ers travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I thought this game was San Francisco at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the Dolphins win this game 29-17. They go to 7-8. The 49ers drop to 6-9. And I ain't gonna really take too much. Look, they took care of business. Brock Purdy didn't have the best game by any means, but I thought he played solid enough. They didn't. They just abandoned the run game. No running back for them, honestly. And George Kittle, I thought had a good game. Debo had a solid game as well. But the Dolphins able to take care of business. Devon A. Chain, pretty much they got this game won on the ground. Devon A. Chain ran all over the Niners. They got the dub.
Yeah, this is a. I have really nothing to say on the Dolphins standpoint besides you said it. Devon Achane had a crazy game, and that was really the difference in the game for me. And Jason Sanders, shout out to him. I think he made like 5 field goals or something. Yeah, he
Crazy.
went 5 for 5. Um, but yeah, this is a perfect example of like you never know year in and year out. The 49ers came into the season as the Super Bowl favorites, even over the Chiefs, who just beat them in the damn Super Bowl. And it's like they came into the year like best team in the league. We're gonna steamroll everybody, and injuries and just inconsistent play and coaching. Matter of fact, it's like it just shows you every single year like nothing's promised. You know.
True. Yeah, man, it's rough for the 49ers. They also got officially eliminated from the playoffs today, as well as this next team, final team we're going to get into. Buccaneers travel to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Cowboys win this game surprisingly, 26-24. They go to 7-8, and the Buccaneers drop to 8-7. Aren't the Cowboys are out, right? Yeah. Um, Man, I got two major takeaways. One, two, well, three. I'll go start with Dallas. One, Mike McCarthy's a hell of a coach. I've been saying this kind of all year that I feel like he's just getting a really bad rap. But what he's been able to do with this team when down in the stretch, I mean, they're 7-8, bro. No one expected this. And I mean, Mike McCarthy's got these dudes fighting, man. CD still getting the ball, 7 catches, 105, and didn't even really play that much in the second half. This is all pretty much first half, and like 7 to 8 targets. I mean, CD's still balling. Shout out to him. Cooper Rush isn't playing horrendous football. And that's on Mike McCarthy, bro. Like he's got rid of Kellen Moore. He's been taking control of this offense, and I never once thought that this man was a bad coach. I always thought this man got a lot of blame for stuff that really wasn't his fault. It's not his fault Dak was choking in the playoffs. It's not his fault that his defense, because they really let go of everybody on the defensive side. is that bad. It's not his fault the run game is bad when you got Rico Dowdle playing. I mean, but you see the resilience. Good head coaches do things like this. This is what good head coaches do. Like they go out there, still find a way to win games, even with this type of team. And he is. I mean, they still aren't able to run the ball. 13 carries, 23 yards for Dowdle. That's the leading rusher. Still isn't running the ball that well. But Tampa, I'm disappointed. I mean, they ran the ball relatively somewhat well, but Rashad White on the end of that play, I mean, that was horrible. You just got bitched. Two of their players got bitched today. I mean, just got the ball taken from them on crazy. But I thought they were going to go out Mike Evans a lot more. Only 69 yards. I mean, Baker played solid. I mean, the pick wasn't really on him. The receiver just got the ball taken from him. And the end of the play, he made a crazy play where he broke out of a crazy sack, stayed up, tossed it to Rashad White, and he just got the ball taken out of his hands. I mean, that was crazy, bro. But yeah, I'm disappointed in Tampa. I'm disappointed in their defense allowing the Cowboys to kind of do what they did. I mean, Brendan Aubrey did make a shit ton of kicks, but still, like, I mean, Tampa's got to win this game. No, offensively, they got to win this game. I mean, maybe the defense could play a little better, but the offense, you got to do more. These are games you're gonna have to. The offense is gonna have to do more. And everybody's been talking about how much the offense has been clicking. I mean, Baker still threw for 303 and 2 touchdowns, but it was just this offense is clicking, it's clicking, it's clicking, and man, they Tampa beat themselves today.
Yeah, I still obviously have a little bit of not so much worry, but like I do think the Bucks are gonna win the division still. I think next week the Falcons are gonna go lose to the Commanders, and I think it'll be a tough
Yeah,
game for the Bucks against the Panthers. But I think the Bucks will win it. But for
that
me,
game's in Tampa too.
yeah, true, yeah, exactly. For me, this game was more so about this Cowboys defense. Man, they were so hungry, and you could see it. Like they wanted this game so damn bad. It's like they already knew they got eliminated. And it's also crazy to think that this Cowboys team, as shitty as they've been, can still finish with a positive record. They can finish at 9-8. It's like that's crazy. And again, CD went off. He had himself in this little half. He got hurt. His shoulder's been fucking with him all year, or like half the year or whatever. But it's like the team played. They played good. The offense was all right, solid, whatever. But that defense was balling out today. So I mean, shit. Shout out to them. And then again with the Bucks,
Yeah,
I still
and
think the Bucks are gonna make the playoffs. But
yeah, like you said, they've been playing hungry. They've been playing like they've been playing for something, man. And this is going back to the Commanders when out of their last five, they're four out of their last five, and they lost to the Bengals because of that stupid punt thing that happened where they touched the ball, Bengals get it back, automatic first down. I mean, that pretty much locked the game up for Cincy. They're about to get the ball back with you never know what could happen, And hey man, they've been playing hungry. I think Mike McCarthy definitely got his job back, but I think definitely it shows that it's not his fault. Like, and I think that's the point of it. Like, he's shown I'm a competent head coach. Like, I'm gonna get shit done. I'm gonna still figure out how to get us some dubs, even though if it's not against the best competition, because they won four out of the last five, but they beat the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Giants. Not the best wins, but I mean they were underdogs in most of those games. You know what I'm saying? I think they were underdogs against the Panthers, and they were underdogs definitely against the Bucks. So it's like, hey man, shout out to them. They're doing their
yeah,
thing, and they beat the Commanders in Washington. Like that goes for something, man. So shout out to the Cowboys.
yeah, man, I agree. I also think like you mentioned earlier, Brandon Aubrey, man, he nailed two 58-yard field goals. It's like
You
eventually
know how
like
crazy that is, bro.
exactly, and it's like we've just been kind of normalizing it of like, man, it's just normal kicking. Nah, man, like if you watch college shit,
258 yarders is
yeah,
crazy,
man, watch college, man, they barely making 45-yard field goals. It's like
bro. Did you see how many extra points was missed today? Extra points.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Let's go into the Christmas games real quick. Yeah. Let's talk about you want. Yeah, yeah. Let's do the Christmas games and the Thursday games. Yeah. Let's go into it. Wednesday, Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to all of you guys, by the way. The Chiefs traveling to Pittsburgh take on the Steelers. Chiefs are 14-1. Steelers are 10-5. Casey server about 2.5. I'm taking Pittsburgh. Taking Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Ryan almost lost his mind. I'm
Man,
going with the
Merry
Chiefs,
Christmas
man.
to everybody besides me, because my team gonna lose. We are gonna get killed. We're gonna get killed in the most one.
Watch me when I finally have picked the Chiefs over the. It's been the first time for a little minute.
The
Watch
one
them
time you need
boys.
them to win,
Yes,
essentially.
they
Yeah, nah.
lose. I lose my shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Hopefully, GP can be back, and hopefully some of the other pieces are back on the defense that have been hurt. And it's at home. Obviously, I'm not gonna complain if we do win, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Going to the next game, Ravens traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Christmas, Baltimore is favored by 4. I might be at this game doing interviews. I don't know yet. My schedule's pretty crazy, but yeah, the Ravens are favored by 4. Ravens are 10-5, Texans are 9-6. I'm taking Baltimore. I think they win this game, man. I think Lamar has a big game. Derrick Henry has a big game. I think they win, but it could be defensive. I could see the Ravens struggling a little bit, but we'll see. I'm taking the Ravens still though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. I think the way they beat Pittsburgh was pretty convincingly, especially again it's a division rival, and to go to Houston, granted on a short week, but still, I think Lamar is gonna have a crazy day. I think Derrick Henry's gonna have a crazy day. I think the defense is gonna really just be able to solely focus on Nico, and then they can already stop the run. The Ravens are very good at stopping the run, so it's like if they can just solely focus on Nico, I think the Ravens pretty convincingly win the game.
Yeah, I agree. Going on to the Thursday game, Seahawks traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears are 4-11. Seahawks are 8-7. Seahawks favored by 3.5 on the road. I think this game's gonna be a lot closer than what people think. But I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I would not be surprised if the Bears win this game though. It just seems like a trap game for Seattle. Um, I I don't know what it is, but I'm still going Seattle.
Man, I don't know why. I really want to go with the Bears. I don't
Gino
know.
on prime time. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I might go Chicago. I'm gonna go with Chicago. I'm gonna go with
Really?
Chicago. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Chicago. I don't know. Just the way that Jefferson and Loki Addison just tore them up too. Granted, they barely lost to the Vikings, who are a really good team. Nah. I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna go Seattle. And that's final. Yeah, I'm gonna go Seattle.
All right. Yeah, I'm going Seattle too. I think I don't know. I think the Bears gonna play them tough, but I think they got enough. I think JSN, Gino, I think the defense will make a play. Somebody gonna make a play for them to win this game. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Ryan, you got anything before we leave off? Nope. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button. Keep showing us love. Uh, I'm your host, JMX, my co-host Ryan. To the next one. Peace out.